everyone and welcome back to RC Mi1v2. So we're back this week in the second setup video. This week going to be looking at the ride height. Also be looking at the body post mounts. I didn't really touch on that too much in the build series, so I just thought I'd show you where I cut down mine compared to the chart you get with the kit in the manual. I brought this little device to help me with the ride height. It was only about £3.50 off eBay, so I think that's about just over €4 or just under about $5, so pretty cheap and cheerful. But it also measures the camber as well and wheel height. So definitely look at the camber in a different video. I'll only be using it for the ride height measurements in this video. Also got a selection there of the spaces you get with the kit. The shocks aren't adjustable, so you use the different size spacers to adjust the ride height. So I've got those, and those are the body posts that I've cut down. We'll have a look at those later, but we'll start off with the ride height. So when I was doing my own little bit of research into looking at ride heights, I went on a few forums and things like that, and what I generally sort of found out is a good starting point is to have the back of the car set to about 6mm, and you want to run the front at about 1mm lower, so about 5mm for the front. Then I came across this in the back of the manual, and it says in general always run the car as low as possible without the chassis grounding out as it rolls into corners. Run the front 0.5mm to 1mm lower than the rear to give you more steering. A good starting point is 5.5mm at the front and 6mm at the rear. So I think that's probably what I'll go with. What I've done, I've put the battery into the car and given it a little push down just so everything settles down. The rear shocks have just got the large spacer on at the minute. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead, measure the ride height and see how much we have to adjust it by. So I think we've got lucky first time with the rear suspension and the ride height. So I just move the gauge out of the way. You'll be able to see there's the 6mm mark, and I'm pushing against it and it won't go over the 7mm. So I'm quite happy that's set to around about 6mm, maybe 6.5mm. So I'm going to leave that there. Move on to the front of the car. I've got to pop the bumper off, so I'll just do that off camera, and then we'll come back and have a look at what spaces we need for the front suspension. So I've just taken the bumper off just so I can get to the front of the chassis. What I've done regarding the spacers is I've just put on the neck size down, and I've put 2 spacers on each spring. So what we'll do now is we'll just pop the gauge under the front and see if this comes in at around about 5mm. So there we go, it's a bit of a fluke. First guess. The ride height is about 5mm, 5.5mm. So I'll pull the gauge out. There we can see the 5mm mark, and it won't go over the 6, so somewhere between 5.5mm. So I'm happy with that. I think this might all change when you get to the actual track, but just for now it's just a rough guide to go by. So I'll get the bumper back on and then we'll have a look at the body posts. So I just wanted to do a little bit on the body posts, as I didn't really talk about it in the build series. It does tell you in the manual to trim down the post to match your body shell, but there is little information apart from that. So what I'm going to do is just show you on the chart where I cut down my posts, and then we'll go ahead and fit those and get the shell on. So what we'll do is we'll just have a look at the front ones first. So these are the front two, the longer ones. And as you can see, they've got these marks on the side. I don't know if you see that on camera or not. These slight sort of lines or ridges going up the side as markers. And with these ones, I cut these off 3 from the bottom. So I'll just show you on the chart what I mean by that. And I cut them at the red line. So these are the back ones. And these are cut 3 down from the top. So I'll bring the chart back up again and show you with the red line where these were cut. The next stage is to get them all installed into the car. It is sort of trial and error trying to get the shell the right height. You have to sort of put the shell on, maybe move the posts up and down a bit, put the shell back on, check it. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and do all that off camera. When the height's correct, we'll come back and just have a look at putting the grub screws in, securing the posts, and then we'll get the shell on. So after a few attempts, I've got the body posts where I want them. So now the next stage is just to go around and put in the grub screws, and they just help to keep the posts in place. So what I'll do is I'll go around, do all 4 of those, come back and put the shell on. So there we go, there's the body clips on. So I thought I'd just give you a bit of a closer look at how the shell turned out. So as I said, it's come out with this like marble effect on the front, where I didn't mask it off properly. So that's my own fault, but I think up close it looks a bit naff. But I think when it's out on a track, at distance, it probably won't look too bad. So that's where we're at the minute. I'll just show you the 2 rear body clips there. So I think that's where we'll leave it for today's video. So that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. I just wanted to give you a couple updates of some videos that will be upcoming in the next couple of weeks. This little pile of goodies on the left is a few bits and pieces I've been collecting over the last few weeks. So I thought I'd do a video looking at all that in a bit more detail. I haven't opened any of it yet, so I thought I'd wait until I did the video before I opened it all up and had a proper look. Another video I want to do is something regarding the MTS and the servo, Savox. Something I stumbled across when I was doing my research for the setup wizard video. So that's something I'll be doing. I'll talk a bit more about that nearer the time. Another video is using the device we use today to do the camber. So we'll be using that gauge to do that. And the other video will be something that I almost forgot about, and that is the other shell I've got. I got this shell around about Christmas time. When I wasn't too sure what was going on with the Schumacher IS200 shell, I came across this one, and it was only £20 including postage, so I got that as well. So be looking to do another shell at some point. Probably going to keep this one quite plain, and I'm thinking maybe doing it in maybe fluorescent orange, like a neon orange, something like that. But let me know in the comments what you think. If you think I should do it any other colour, let me know. So I think that's it for the minute. Just want to say thank you to the new subscribers. Welcome to the journey. And thank you for watching.